Today we're going to be talking about some of the biggest engagement ring trends that we're seeing, especially going into 2024. In general, the trend towards non-traditional engagement rings is definitely still going strong, and we're going to see that reflected in a few different ways with design choices, especially in the next year or so. While we have been seeing a lot of more non-traditional designs in the past, I think the bigger shift that's even going to come is, even though we've seen a lot of colored stones and a lot of really unique designs, especially going back to some antique reproduction looks, I think one of the biggest shifts is going to come in the way of moving away from some of those very decorative and fanciful details and definitely moving more towards a very sleek, very understated and very modernist approach to design when it comes to rings. For example, again, some of those antique inspired details such as milligraining and some other, very fanciful baskets under the stone, I think we're going to continue to move away from prong styles, and we have seen a lot of bezel, or what's sometimes called rub over settings, really come to the forefront as a big trend. That's definitely going to continue, and I think it's going to get even more dramatic with more kind of flush style settings of stones, especially in band style rings. Speaking of the bands themselves, I think we'll continue to shift away again from that more kind of delicate and feminine look into something a little bit more masculine and kind of unisex, and something that really fits a lot of different styles. And in the past, we have seen a lot of very, very fine, super, super thin, what's sometimes being called as micro pave bands when it comes to those classic solitaire look engagement rings. It's been a huge trend on social media, and I think we're definitely going to move away from that into something a lot more substantial, something that really fits and shows off metalwork a lot more, into very wide band styles, almost like a cigar band. And it's going to be a lot more substantial and, again, a lot more modern. As for the metals themselves, it's no secret that rose and yellow gold have really been trending for the last few years, but I think, again, thinking of this very kind of modern and 90s-esque style that we've even seen in fashion the last year or so, there's going to be a big return to silver metals once again. And of course, this means white gold and platinum, and maybe some even experimental designs with sterling silver, stainless steel, and even other alternative metals like tungsten. As for the gemstones, I think this idea of the non-traditional ring is going to take us on a lot of different paths, all leading away from that classic round cut diamond engagement ring. We'll continue to see a lot of styles with multiple stones. We've already seen that a little bit with the move away from, the big solitaire on that tiny band, more towards 3-stone rings and even eternity bands. So I think we're going to see the carat sizes come down a little bit, and rings designed with multiple smaller stones, perhaps even with, each stone representing some sort of meaning to the couple or the person that is going to wear the ring. Of course, the classic solitaire is never going to go away completely, and for those that just love that classic look, because of course it's never going to go out of style, I think we'll see a move away from the classic round and the oval that's just been, so mainstream for so long now and in high demand. Definitely going to see a return to the step cut stones, so emerald cuts and radiant cuts, Asher cuts, and yes, maybe even the princess cut that was so beloved in the 90s and the early 2000s might also make its return as well. I think we'll also see, when it comes to solitaires and side stones, a return to some of these alternative cuts that we don't see as often. So trillions and Cadillac shapes, maybe even the shield step cut, and of course, with the availability of lasers, we're going to see a lot of more designer cuts and very interesting shapes that will come onto the market that could be very interesting for a solitaire ring. And lastly, of course, when it does come to diamonds, there is definitely going to be more and more interest in the lab-grown diamond. They are going to become more and more available to our clients and more accessible. And as more and more people get to see them in person and they're happy with the appearance when compared to a natural grown diamond, and of course, when they see those price differences, I think the lab-grown diamond is only going to increase with popularity. To learn more, check out our other videos, including those on lab diamonds and comparing silver, gold, and platinum. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our main page at winstongemsandjewellery.com.